We'll go back to clay, I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure you kept the clay, so we'll go back and.
Oh, no, I took it. She came to wash it again.
You already did it? Oh, so you already washed it?
Yeah. Anything else is using anything.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Flat back.
Okay, we'll go back and check. Thank you. Okay. You don't have a place to do this today to get this out?
We kind of leaving here last time.
Make that place. No, it's usually now, okay, we'll take it out. But you don't have a plate now.
No,
Okay. Yeah, we will get some. I will go and look at it and see if they have a good name.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Jaya Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Shri Nrishimhadeva Bhagavatam ki jai.
Male போட்டுக்கலாம்.
Sankirtan ki jai.
நீங்களே போட்டுக்கலாம். Oh, good.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Virayet Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Studying from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, text number 39. Antarhitendriya Artaya
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sasarchedam Sapurvavat
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Haraye Vihitanjalihi
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat Antarhitendriya Artaya
Antarhitendriya Artaya
Haraye Vihitanjalihi Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Sasarjedam Sapurvavat
Antarhitendriya Artaya Haraye Vihitanjalihi Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam Sasarjedam Sapurvavat Antarhitendriya Artaya Haraye Vihitanjalihi Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam Sasarjedam Sapurvavat.
Translation on the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who is the object of the transcendental enjoyment for the senses of the devotees. Brahma, with folded hands, began to recreate the universe full with living entities as it was previously. Quote by Srila Prabhupada. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is the object for fulfilling the senses of all living entities. Illusioned by the glaring reflection of the external energy, the living entities worship the senses instead of engaging them properly in fulfilling the desires of the Supreme. In Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, there is a following verse. Akshnoho phalam tvadrisha darshanam hi tanoha phalam tvadrisha gatra sangaha jitva phalam tvadrisha kirtanam hi sudurlabha bhagavata ki loke. O devotee of the Lord, the purpose of the visual sense is fulfilled simply by seeing you. Touch your body is a fulfillment of bodily touch. Tongue is meant for glorifying the qualities, because in this world a pure devotee of the Lord is very difficult to find. So continue reading the purport after prayers. Mugyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamakyam Dadati Svapadantikam Mukam Karoti Vacharam Mangum Nangayate Gititu Yat Kripadamaham Vande Shri Gurum Kinatarinam Paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Om Tat Sat. Antarhitendriya Artaya Hare Vihitanjali Sarvabhutamayo Vishwam Asarjedam Sapurvavat. So here we see that how Lord Brahma, in the beginning, after waking up, so every day, every night, so the end of the night, so Lord Brahma wakes up and then he finds himself in complete darkness. Because what happens is during the night of Brahma, so there is a partial destruction, partial annihilation of the lower planetary systems. So all the lower planetary systems are destroyed. So then before Brahma wakes up, after thousands of cycles of our Kshatriya Yuga, four cycles, so Lord Vishnu again recreates those lower planetary systems. So the Lord Brahma, when he wakes up, he is instructed and then he starts his creation activity. So Lord Brahma does his creation in every day in the morning. As soon as he wakes up, his duty is to create. And every day he has to pray to Krishna before he starts his work. Just like we also start our day with prayers to Guru, prayers to Lord Nrishimhadeva and all the deities. Same way Lord Brahma also, he sometimes, it's a long duration. Like he spoke about thousands of Kshatriya Yugas, 4 cycles of Yugas. So because of that, it's a long time. So Lord Brahma does not fully understand where is he. So then Lord Brahma, he starts to find out his position in the whole creation. He goes up and down. And then finally, he finds that he has to pray to Krishna. And that's when he hears this word tapaha, and then he executes the austerities for many hundreds of years of the demigods. And after that, Lord Vishnu appears in front of him. And he appears in front of him and he especially blesses him with the vision of the entire spiritual world, and he also gives him transcendental instructions about the Supreme Lord. So that is very wonderfully, it is conceptualized in these 4 verses that we just saw last week. And here we see that Lord Vishnu, after having instructed Lord Brahma on the necessary knowledge required for creation, he disappears. So this verse, a very beautiful verse. The first line, Antarhitendriya Arthaya, means that which is desired by all his pure devotees. Antarhita Indriya Arthaya. So Indriya Artha means what? Indriya means what? Anyone? What is Indriya? Indriya means senses. Indriya Artha means sense objects. So this whole creation is made up of senses and sense objects. The senses of the living entities and different sense objects that the living entities are attracted to. Name, form, that is in, for the eyes you have the rupa, for the tongue you have the rasa, then for the smell you have the gandha, smell, for the nose, and for touch, tvak. So all these sense objects are existing in this world for the living entity to get lost in trying to enjoy the sense objects. The senses and sense objects are natural like magnets. So there's North Pole, South Pole. As soon as you bring the magnets closer, they attract. Opposite poles, they go away. So just like the magnets, they naturally come close to each other when you bring closer. The senses and sense objects, they have a natural affinity. So as soon as there is a connection that is established between the senses and sense objects, there is an attraction. So we see the whole, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita explains that this Indriya and Indriyartha is a network of all senses and sense objects, is what is the material creation is all about. And it is naturally the living entities, they forget their original understanding of who they are because they get lost in the sense objects. They are so busy exploiting the sense objects for their own sense gratification, they have no time to think about Krishna. But whereas here, so we see that Antarhitendriya Arthaya means what? Antar means inside. So inside the every human conditioned soul who has a human body, so he has an inside that is spirit soul. So we know from Bhagavad Gita we have different layers of body. So we have this gross body, and what is the other body? Subtle body. So there is a gross body is called Linga Sharira, and gross body in the subtle body is called Stula Sharira. And then inside them is the spirit soul. The spirit soul also has the transcendental senses. So they also have transcendental senses. And these transcendental senses can easily attach themselves to the transcendental sense objects, namely the Supreme Lord's form, Supreme Lord's name, and all the different wonderful sense objects, where the only worshipable entity is the Supreme Lord. So here, Antarhitendriya Arthaya. So we're talking about Brahmas, not just Brahmas, pure devotees. They have these transcendental senses which have natural attraction towards the Supreme Lord. That is what is very referred here. So they do not get attracted to this other sense objects of the material world. They only get attracted to the beautiful form of Krishna, the beautiful sound of His holy name, and all the senses can have an attachment towards the Lord's different aspects. So having said that, Antarhitendriya Arthaya, that which is desired by the internal sense objects of the spirit soul, that Supreme Hari, he left, Vihitanjalihi. So he left bidding goodbye to Brahma. So the Lord instructs his faithful devotee, and he remains out of the picture. He goes out of the picture to see how that devotee is performing. So if someone remembers the Lord in the heart of the heart, always remembers Him, just like He instructs in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvakaleshu Bharata. Always, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Always think of me, O Bharata, O Arjuna. And then you fight. So he sometimes disappears to see what does the spirit soul do, this devotee do. So he is out of picture. So similarly here, Lord Vishnu also goes out of the picture, and Lord Brahma is again by himself. He was by himself in the beginning. Then he remembered the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord came in front of him. But then he disappeared. So then Lord Brahma, he starts what he has done before. Very beautifully described here. Sasar Chedam Sa Purvavat. Purva means what? Before. So every day of Lord Brahma, he starts the creation process. This is not something new that he does, but he forgets how to do it. And he prays to Supreme Lord. And he gets that divine knowledge by which he gets the knowledge to create. Then he starts the creation again, just like before. So Sasarja means creation. Sarga means creation. So then we see here, in the purport Srila Prabhupada is quoting Hari Bhakti Sudodaya. Hari Bhakti Sudodaya is a part of the Naradiya Purana, where Narada Muni is describing how one should do devotional service. Narada Muni has two unique contributions toward Bhakti. That is why Narada Muni is said to be an Sakti Avesh Avatar. He is a special incarnation, especially imbued with transcendental loving devotional service, Bhakti. So he is authority of Bhakti Yoga. So one is the Narada Pancharatra, Narada Bhakti Sutra. And then the other one is Naradiya Purana, in which Hari Bhakti Sudodaya is a part of. So here we see how all these senses currently we have should be engaged in Krishna's service. The eye should be engaged in serving the Supreme Lord's form, looking at the form of the Supreme Lord. Akshnoho phalam swadrisha darshanam hi. Akshi means eyes. So what is the use of the eyes? The use of the eyes is to see the Supreme Lord's beautiful form and appreciate it. So because Krishna is very merciful, because we are not that advanced that he can directly come in front of us and be able to see his transcendental form. He is mercifully, he is coming in the form of his Acha Vigraha, his deity form. And he is presenting himself so that we can serve him, we can use our senses to touch him, we can use our eyes to see him, we can use our arms to do some service for him, or cook nice foodstuffs to offer to him. So all these things, and of course he gives us the wonderful prashadam, which we taste with our tongue. So the purpose of the eyes is to see him. The purpose of the tanohu means the body. So the purpose of the body is to touch his lotus feet or offer tulsi to his lotus feet. Then jihva phalam tadrisha kirtanam hi. Purpose of the tongue should be to always sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Sudurlabha Bhagavata hi loke. So such a devotee is very, very rare, who is always engaged in his activities. So we see a similar verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam also. It's a very popular verse, Prabhupada quotes again and again. This is with respect to Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj is known for how he engages his entire body in Krishna's service. So he engages his eyes, he engages his hands in serving the Lord, he engages his legs in traveling to the pilgrimages, places of pilgrimages of Lord. And then in that way, all his sense objects, all his senses are all utilized in Krishna's service. So that is the purpose of the human body. So when we keep doing this, Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Uttama. Uttama Bhakti, or the highest Bhakti, is to use our senses in serving the senses of Krishna. So here we are all busy in serving the senses of our own body. So we are using our senses to satisfy our own body. Like our senses to see some beautiful form, like so on and so forth. But if the senses are used in Krishna's service, then our transcendental senses that we just spoke about, Antar Hitendriya Artaya, that gets awakened. So if you are able to use your senses currently in serving Krishna's senses, then our inside senses, that of the spirit soul, will get awakened. It's the very best opportunity for us. So in this connection, I would like to, there's one very beautiful song by a great sage from the Madhva Sampradaya. His name is Srimad Raja. Srimad Raja was a very great devotee. He was when he was a small boy himself, he was about 6-7 years old. Then his spiritual master, so he came and then he asked him if he wants to become a devotee. Then he immediately accepted. His parents also accepted. So he immediately was given sannyas. At the age of 7 years, he was given sannyas. So that was a tradition, even it continues today. So the Madhva Sampradaya, the different matas, and sometimes some of the next higher of the mata, the next guru who is going to take over the mata. So sometimes they are chosen when they are like 7-8 years old. As soon as their ceremony of twice born is done, immediately the child is taken for training. They're trained in all the shastras, they're trained in all the different wonderful the lessons of the bhakti, and then at the appropriate age, so they become the Pitadipati or the head of the mata. So here we see that it's a wonderful, very similar teachings. So I would like to play that song and I would like to give the purport of the song. It's a song in Kannada, so I will translate it after the song.
Bhushanake Bhushana, Ida Bhushana, Raga Chambodi, Thala Katta Chambo. Bhushanake Bhushana, Ida Bhushana, Bhushanake Bhushana, Ida Bhushana, Seshagiri Vasa Sri Paramyakatesha Sesha.
So this was sung when Srimad Raja was visited by a king. The king actually came, and the king was extremely materialistic. So he was always interested in amassing wealth by taxing, and he was always trying to enjoy, not doing his duties properly. So when sage visits the kingdom, so he visits the palace, then he is duty bound to get up from his place and give the respects. So that time, Srimad Raja, he actually sang the song. So it means that Bhushanake Bhushana Idu Bhushana means what is a Bhushana? So he's saying to the king that the king is usually adorned with so many ornaments, a lot of jewels and a lot of different things. And he's completely lost looking at his own, how much wealthy he is and how many queens he has. So he's completely lost. So for him saying, was Srimad Raja is saying to the king that what is the real ornament of a devotee? The real ornament is Bhushanake Bhushana Idu Bhushana. This is the real ornament. So he's calling his worshipable deity Venkatesha. Venkatesha is not Sri Balaji of Tirupati. And then he's saying that what is the real wealth or the real ornament? What is the ornament of the eyes? What is the ornament of the ears? He's going to say that. So he's saying, what is the real ornament of the tongue? The real ornament of the tongue is to say the Narayana Nama, or the divine names of the Supreme Lord. That is the ornament of the tongue. So Bhagavatam says, what is the use of having a tongue if you cannot spell the name of Krishna? So same way, what is the ornament for the arms? So Kalige Bhushana Hari Yatri. So if you are having your arms, then you have to use it for going to the temple of Krishna. So go to the temple of Krishna and then serve him. That's the purpose of having legs. If your legs don't take you to the temple, don't help in serving Krishna, your legs are useless. And he's also saying next, Alayake Bhushana Tulasi Vrindavana. So the ornament of a home is to have Tulasi Vrindavana, Tulasi in the house. And worship of Tulasi is a very important aspect of following Bhakti Yoga. Then he says that Vishala Karneke Bhushana Vishnu Katai. So just like how we saw, the tongue should be used in chanting Krishna's names. The ear should be used in hearing the divine pastimes of Krishna, Hari Katha, Krishna Katha. That is very important. So like that, every sense should be used properly. If it is not used, then there is no use. That is it. Then he says that Manavi Bhushana Manavali. So one should follow, one should never go on. So in those days, the Brahmanas would not go and ask anything from anybody. They would not even work for anybody. So that is a Brahmana Kula Dharma. So you should not work for anybody, but rather you should just give teachings, Patana Patana, Yajana Yajana, Dana Pratigraha. So that is the actual work of the Brahmanas. So they are supposed to teach, supposed to learn. If they can give donation, they can accept donations. And then Dana Pratigraha, then Patana Patana, Yajana Yajana, doing the yajna and helping in doing the yajna. So that is the only work of Brahmanas. They are not supposed to work for others. So that's why he's saying that Manavaga Bhushana, Manavarige. So those who are having Brahmana Dharma, they should always be dependent on Krishna. So that is very important. Of having knowledge. So people have so much knowledge, they're amassing knowledge, but it should be knowledge concerning the Supreme Lord. Otherwise the whole intelligence is useless. So Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, those who read Bhagavad Gita, so they worship me with intelligence. So intelligence should be used in remembering Krishna and connecting with Krishna. Then he also says, those who are, for the ladies, what is the ornament? The ornament of ladies is pati bhakti, or being devoted to one's husband. That is the mani nike bhushana pati bhakti. So what is the use of having eyes? Having the eyes is mainly to see the beautiful form of Sri Ranga, or the Supreme Lord. So Sri Ranganatha is the form of the Lord who is actually lying down in the Sri Ranga temple. So that's to be used to always serve the deities. That's the purpose of the eyes. And the purpose of the head, so what is the purpose of the head? Any guess? Sorry? Bowing down, yes. Head should bow down to Krishna. Otherwise, what is the use of having the head? Head which does not bow down to Krishna is useless. Sringara Tulasi Mani, or the beautiful Tulasi Mani, that is the beauty of the kanta, or the throat. That which does not have, anybody who does not have a Tulasi Mani, so it should be seen as, and you're not seen. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he once said, so if you're not wearing a tilak and if you're not wearing kantimala, the whole body is like a smashana, or it's like a place where you bury the dead. It's no use. So wearing the tulasi and wearing the tilaka is the lotus feet of the Lord. So the Urdhva Pundara, as it is called, is the two lotus feet of the Lord. And in between the lotus feet, we have a beautiful tulasi. So one should always wear tilaka and one should wear tulasi mani. That's very important. And finally he says that the best of all is the names of God, names of Krishna. So that is the best of all ornament. So like that, Sripada Raja, he gave this wonderful song and the king was completely moved. So he didn't instruct anything to him, he just sung this beautiful song. Hearing this, he was completely moved and he surrendered to the Sripada Raja and then became a devotee. Like that's the power of the beautiful songs. So he was one of the first in the Madhva Sampradaya to use the songs for preaching. So this is it's a very beautiful Devanama. So like that, so the great souls have already shown by example how one should use one's body in Krishna's service. So that is a very beautiful song. So we'll read the other part of the purport. What is the time? 8:50. So originally the senses of the living entities were awarded for this purpose, namely to engage them in transcendental loving service of the Lord, or that of his devotees. But the conditioned souls, illusioned by the material energy, become captivated by sense enjoyment. So the moment, Chaitanya Charitamrita also has said, that the moment our mind is taken away from Krishna, immediately the Maya captures us. So I don't remember the exact verse. It says that it says Japatiya Tarik. So the Maya is just waiting. As soon as we take our mind away from Krishna, immediately it captures our mind. So mind means senses. It's all in the line. As soon as the mind is not thinking about Krishna, so immediately our senses, the mind, intelligence disarray. It thinks about sense objects, naturally. Because now what else the mind thinks about? The sense objects. So as soon as that happens, immediately there's an illusion. So Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita as well as Ishopanishad, but how there's a veil of illusion between him and the person. If someone is not using his senses, his mind in service of Krishna, so his mind gets clouded by the illusion of creation, of Maya. So therefore the whole process of God consciousness is meant to rectify the conditional activities of the senses and to re-engage them in the direct service of the Lord. So one should use one's senses in serving Krishna, and that's the key for getting rid of this illusion. The illusion is always covering us. So Maya, Javanika, Chandam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Javanika means the curtain. It's the curtain of illusion. It's always separating us from Krishna, seeing Krishna. So even sometimes we see, oh, this just a stone, just a marble stone. That's because of illusion. We are not able to see Krishna because the curtain of illusion is there between him and us. We have to, if you want to remove the curtain, we cannot by our own effort. So, but it starts with engaging our senses in Krishna's service. And then what else is being said here? Lord Brahma thus engaged his senses in the Lord by recreating the conditioned living entities to act in the recreated universe. This material universe is thus created and annihilated by will of the Lord. It is created to give the conditioned soul a chance to act, to return to home. So the whole purpose of creation itself is actually for the conditioned soul's benefit, not for Krishna's benefit. Krishna does not have to create. He is happy in his own, by himself. That's why Krishna is called Atma Rama. Atma Rama Sikhamanayo Nirganta Api Urukrame. Krishna is completely self-satisfied in himself. He doesn't require a second person. Sometimes he doesn't even require a second person, means even Radharani is actually his own expansion. So he doesn't require anybody else for enjoyment. So he can be self-satisfied by himself. But still, he creates this entire universe so that living entities can get an opportunity to think about him, to realize their mistake and come back to him. It is created to give the conditioned soul a chance to return back to home, back to Godhead. Servants like Brahma, Narada, Vyasa and their company become busy with the same purpose of the Lord, to reclaim the conditioned souls in the field of sense gratification and return them to the normal state of engaging the senses in service of the Lord. So it's the Guru's purpose. The Guru's purpose is to engage the disciple in serving Krishna by engaging him in different services which helps him in advancing Krishna consciousness. So instead of doing so, converting the action of the senses, the impersonalists began to make the conditioned soul senseless, and the Lord also senseless. Because the impersonalists or Mayavadis, they think Krishna does not have a form, or there is no God, but there is only Brahman. The Brahman is completely inert, or doesn't have any features. So they try to make the Lord non-existent because he doesn't have a form, he doesn't have features. And they also say you should also not connect your using your senses at all, just to make yourself senseless. So because sense is actually a source of connecting to the illusion. So be senseless. Don't use your eyes. Always keep on doing some Omkara or something. Don't use your arms. Don't use anything. Just keep reading the right Shastras, Upanishads and other things. So don't use anything for anything. Just be completely inert. So that is their recommendation. So when there is some disease in the eyes may be cured to see properly. Plucking out the eyes is no treatment. Similarly, the whole material disease is based on the process of sense gratification. The liberation from the disease condition is re-engagement of the senses to see the beauty of Lord, hear His glories and act on His account. Thus Brahmaji created the universal activities again and again. So there's a very nice story by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also in his Upadesha Upakhyanam. This is a very small instructive story. So there was a small boy, and the boy had a boil in his legs. So he went to his father, went to his uncle. The uncle said, he went to his father, and then he told him that I have pain in my legs. The father said, and then the uncle passed by. The uncle said, "Oh, you have pain in your legs? Then you should cut off your legs. You have a boil in the legs? Then cut off your legs. That's the best solution for it." So his father was obviously not satisfied. So he took him to the doctor. And what did the doctor do? The doctor, he said, "Okay, this is a boil, so it has to be cut with a knife." So he brought the knife. And as soon as the boy saw the knife, he was very afraid, started to cry. But then of course the father and the doctor, they caught hold of him, and then finally the boil was removed. So like that, spiritual master sometimes applies very hard instructions on us. He gives us very hard instruction. It looks very offending to us. Oh, why is my spiritual master telling like this? Sometimes he has to find the mistakes of the disciple, because nobody corrects a disciple. The disciple is completely left on his own, keeps on accumulating more and more anarthas. So what is anartha means? Artha means that which is wanted. Anartha means that which is not wanted. So as we do sadhana to grow our bhakti creeper, there are so many weeds that also grows along with it. Just like in our garden, you have the plant, you sow the seeds. There are so many weeds that comes along, and you water them, the weeds also grows. You put some different manure, the weeds also grows. So weeds have to be plucked forcibly. That's how we can save the bhakti creeper. The same way, all these anarthas are there in us from the time immemorial. It's been coming from life after life, from birth after birth. It's there in us. So spiritual master sometimes has to apply force. He gives very hard instruction. Stop doing this, don't do this, do this particular service. And we don't like that service because it's not satisfying to our senses. So, but if we do that, that's a medicine for us. So he's giving us a medicine so that it helps us in advancing and overcoming these anarthas, these weeds. So we are so attached to certain service, and then a spiritual master tells us to do something else. We don't like it. Or we have some bad habit, he tells us to stop it, we don't like it. So that has to be taken with full humility. And we have to be humble enough to completely listen to him, be corrected by him. Prabhupada also said, be a fool in front of your spiritual master. That's when he can give you proper instructions. Otherwise, we think in our own world we are a very great devotee. So we have to be open for corrections by senior devotees, by spiritual master. So that is when we can make improvement. So otherwise the disease condition just perpetuates, just continues and continues and continues. So we should be open for corrections. It's very important. So that is the end of the purport here. I'll stop here. Any questions? Any comments? Yes, ma'am.
Do you have questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you said so many things today, it's very hard to digest all of it, so, because I'm still sleepy and tired. But to engage oneself continuously, sometimes you feel like you do so much of something and you wanted to break. And then the break, mind gets in, and then it's like, oh yeah, this is becoming harder now, I want to go do something else. How do you get all this back again?
Yes, the break is sometimes important. The break doesn't have to be stopping the service. It can be a different service. For a change, you can definitely do a different service. Take a break, have some other devotee. There should be rotational services also. So that everybody becomes an expert in different services. I don't know if that answers your question. It's sometimes important to take a break, especially in your case situation, you say. You're toiling day in and day out. You're in the morning in the kitchen, you're in the evening in the kitchen, and sometimes you need to take a break.
I go do some other things, like construction for a change. I'm doing construction now, Seja. It really helps, I just changed completely from what I'm doing.
As long as it's connected to Krishna, it is good.
Yes, but then I get tired. Then I can think,
Yeah.
It's harder. I try to follow what we have learned, you have to be engaged 24/7. That's what I hear all the time. So I force myself to think like that. but it's not easy, you know.
Right.
It's like a constant thing. You do it day after day, every day is a new day. You know. Thank you, Prabhu. It was very nice.
Thank you.
The class is always good.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? Thank you very much. Nrishimhadeva Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Let's hear